Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name's Jahanara, and in today's video I'm going to be speaking about PCOS. So I'm going to be talking about polycystic ovary syndrome. So as you guys know, September this month is about polycystic ovary syndrome awareness, so I thought why not, this month would be perfect to speak about it. And I've been promising you guys this video for about a year or two, so yeah, I finally built up the courage and had the time to like sit down and talk about it with you guys, especially because I feel all cozy. The weather's cold outside. I've just been lounging and chilling and Netflixing all day, so yeah, I have an hour free, so I thought I'm just gonna go through it, speak my mind, speak my heart. So yeah, it's all gonna come from the inside. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about what is PCOS, the symptoms, the causes, the diagnosis, basically treatment, I forgot about that, but everything. So yeah, let's start. So what is PCOS? So about 1 in 5 women in the UK suffer from PCOS, and it's basically a common health problem caused by an imbalance of reproductive hormones, and the hormonal imbalances cause problems in the woman's ovaries. So the ovaries produce eggs which are released every month as part of a woman's menstrual cycle. So a woman with PCOS basically has more male hormones inside her than female hormones. That doesn't even make sense, but it's basically a woman that has more male hormones within her body which is out of balance. So this by the way guys, I just wanted to include, just as a disclaimer, I'm no doctor, I'm not no health profession. If you guys have any concerns, please do go speak to a doctor. I'm just going to informally speak to you guys. This is based on my knowledge and my research, so yeah, I just thought I would include that as a disclaimer. So let's talk about the symptoms of PCOS. So I have a huge list on my phone, but I'm going to go through the ones that I know all together, well, which I suffered from as well. Irregular periods, excessive hair, acne, depression, anxiety. You also have symptoms of a loss of hair. You have dark skin patches on your body, weight gain, obesity, diabetes risk, and impact on your emotional well-being, and fertility problems. There's so much I could speak about. For example, fertility problems, pregnancy complications, miscarriages, and the list goes on. Do you know what, let me go on my phone. It's basically what I spoke about. So difficulties in getting pregnant, health challenges, there's increased risk of diabetes, sexual health challenges, low self-esteem, poor body image, and an impact of quality of life. And from personal experience, I could talk about an impact of quality of life. So the common mistake people think about polycystic ovary syndrome, because it has the word cis in it, is that it's just fluid floating around in your ovaries. Well, that's completely wrong. It's more than that. It's basically your eggs that are not developed enough to help you ovulate, or it's just unformed eggs in your ovaries which become fluid sacs, and those fluid sacs are called follicles. So it's basically immature eggs, let's just say, or unmature eggs, or however you say it. I'm just tired guys, sorry. But those eggs can be spotted during an ultrascan. So yeah, if you guys see those cysts, don't think it's like those cysts that you get on your face or spots. It's basically eggs. I'm going to talk about my personal experience with having an ultrasound and what my results were, but basically your eggs and ovaries just failing to function normally. But one thing that is worrying is that if your cysts overgrow, if your cysts are unusually painful, it could lead to ovarian cancer, so you have to be really careful about that. And I would advise anyone that has like pain in their ovaries to definitely get it checked out. Or even if you guys do have PCOS, or you guys think you have PCOS, then definitely speak to a professional. I'm going to be speaking about the diagnosis of PCOS. So I think there's 2 or 3 ways to diagnose you, but you have to pass stage 1 and 2 for you to get to stage 3. So the first way that they will test you is through a blood test. They're going to see your insulin levels, your sugar levels, and they're going to also check your how much androgens you have in your body, which is male hormones, which is linked to insulin. That's the whole story. So the more insulin you have in your body, the more basically that turns into testosterone. So yeah, they're going to be testing that out. And if you guys do come out positive after your blood test, they will send you for an ultra scan. So once they do an ultra scan on you, they're just going to put, you know, that gel that they use during pregnancy to check your stomach. They're basically going to put that gel, or they'll shove something inside you, and they'll just do an ultra scan and check your ovaries and see how they look. And yeah, from that, what I mentioned before, they will check if you guys have those cysts, undeveloped eggs, and basically diagnose you with polycystic ovary syndrome. So guys, let's talk about insulin resistance. So insulin is a hormone that controls the sugar or energy in the body. So women with PCOS basically have higher levels of insulin in their body. That's due to insulin resistance, and insulin resistance means that the cells basically don't respond well to insulin in your body anymore, and eventually increases the risk of diabetes for you. So insulin resistance leads to storage of energy rather than using your glucose. So obviously carbs or food turns into energy in your body because of it becoming glucose. Guys, it's like a whole scientific explanation which I cannot be bothered to go, but this can contribute to weight gain, difficulties in getting pregnant, increasing your risk of diabetes. I think it's type 2 diabetes, and just basically unhealthy weight, and your metabolism just becomes really slow. And I also was going to speak to you guys about gluten and insulin. So basically people with PCOS also suffer from this chemical in the brain which tells you that you're not full, so you basically eat more. It's a really hard long explanation, but it's a chemical that starts with the letter L. I include it right here because I don't know the name of it exact. Don't know why I have a scrunchie on my hand, but I don't know the name of it exactly. But people that tend to have a gluten, there's this chemical within gluten that sends a message to your brain which tells you if you're basically still full or hungry. So people with PCOS, basically that chemical is kind of like shut down, so you don't know when you're full, so you can keep eating and eating and eating. That's why guys, I swear, if you guys know me personally, if you guys follow me on my Insta stories or Snapchat, I eat loads. So basically, yeah, there's this chemical in your brain which tells you when you're full. So if you guys have a gluten or if you guys overeat, that's the reason why. So people with PCOS should be staying away from gluten. I know I'm one to talk because I don't, but from what I know is that you'll get loads of sugar cravings, and the link between your body knowing that it's full and your mind knowing that it's full, you're never going to get full, because that chemical or that thing in your brain just doesn't tell you when you're full. And obviously that will link more to weight gain, the insulin and your storage, and sometimes your body mistakes that for hunger and you just add that insulin as storage. So yeah guys, people with PCOS, they usually tell you not to skip breakfast, lunch or dinner, and to have like smaller portions, but to spread it out, because our blood sugar level just randomly spikes, and that's why we're advised to have more meals but in smaller portions, so in every 2-3 hour clock. That will be better for our body, so we don't binge eat or we just don't like dive into food because our body is telling us we're hungry, and when we're hungry, we're hungry. The other thing I want to talk to you guys is a treatment. I'm just going to get it out there. There is no cure for PCOS, no cure at all, but you can make some healthy lifestyle changes. I heard that even losing 5% of weight can make a huge impact on your PCOS and your general health. Of course, they say you should exercise regularly, drink a lot of water, and have your fruit and veg, but as we all know in this day and age, that's so difficult. But yeah, for irregular periods, they would give you medication. You can get on the contraceptive pill. I know that like if people have fertility problems, the NHS does provide you with IVF, and you guys even can take metformin, but I'm not even going to get into that as much because I'm not an expert. Like I said, you guys should go speak to a health professional or a doctor, but there are medication to help you. Personally, I would stay away from the medications because I always believe that there's a natural way of curing things. And I know that there's medication you guys could take for unwanted hair growth, or you guys could take medication for hair loss. Guys, if there's a will, there's a way. Like if you have this condition, believe me, it's hard to manage, but there's a way to manage it. I've heard that there's creams that you could apply on your body which slows down hair growth as well. So my women with hirsutism, oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. So women with PCOS, and I suffer from it personally as well, is hirsutism. So because of my excessive androgens and insulin and male hormones in my body, I'm basically really hairy. And when I mean hairy, I'm dead at, sorry I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm dead hairy. So yeah, I have loads of hair all over my body, and that's obviously because of my condition, and it's basically called hirsutism. So yeah, it might help with the brows and the hair on my head, but when your body's hairy, yeah, problems. But yeah, I heard there's so many like tablets you could take or creams you could apply to help with that. And there's also surgery. So if your polycystic ovary syndrome gets really bad, I heard that there's surgery people could take to help remove the cysts from your womb, but I haven't looked into that. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm so scared of anesthesia, general anesthesia, local anesthesia, whatever it is. I'm just so scared of surgery. So I don't know, unless it's like really bad to a point where I can't bear the pain, then I will probably undergo surgery. But for now, I'm looking at natural ways to help cure myself. Also guys, PCOS affects your mood constantly. You guys have to remember this is a hormonal problem, and me personally suffered from the emotional anxiety, depression side from it. So I got those who suffer from it, you guys are not alone. The mood swings, the feeling of feeling out of place, the weakness, the low energy is completely normal. You have to remember your body's out of balance, it's out of rhythm. You're going to be feeling down. There's some days you're just gonna have a short, like me personally, I have a short temper, but I'm gonna, do you know what, before I start, let me just get into my side of the story, how I got diagnosed and my symptoms. So yeah, so this part will be a lot more easier. So from the age of 13, or when I was in year 7, I remember having my first period, and I was like, whoa, like, oh my god, that's like my period, I'm not like a baby no more, I'm a teenager, mom, I'm turning into an adult. Oh my god guys, that was so annoying. My camera ended up dying, so I had to like flip and put it on charge. And while Nine was having sweets, and you guys know sugar is like my weakness, so you need dairy milk, white chocolate as well. So I'm just like, so such a hypocrite, because I shouldn't even be eating this. But you know, that's life. So back to what I was saying, after my first period, like yeah, that's it, it came high. And you know what guys, can I just say I'm so glad I'm off the scientific explanation of what PCOS is, and now I could talk about me. And I just feel like I feel so under pressure giving you guys advice, or like just in case I give you guys the wrong advice, I had to like properly think. But now that I'm out of that like brain caboodling place, I'm going to be speaking about my condition and about me. So after my first period, my period basically just went away forever. It went away for like 1.5 years, like that. She came and she went, like she was gone. And I didn't go through puberty properly, so I didn't grow and I didn't go so like I wasn't hairy, I didn't grow boobs. I was just like literally the undeveloped one, and all the girls in school, college were like, as I was growing, were developing boobs, their body was changing, basically going through puberty. So I basically didn't go through puberty properly. And then yeah, that was like a really big struggle, and I knew there was something wrong with me at the get-go. Like as soon as my period stopped, and then randomly, like after like, wait, let's just say year 10 or year 11, I started getting super hairy. So I started growing hair in unusual places. So like my chin and my neck would have hair. I would start, okay, let's not go that extreme, but I was about to say like a monobrow, but guys, I didn't even grow a monobrow. That was already there because I didn't pluck my brows. But I started having like a snail trail back hair. Basically I have hair everywhere, all over my body. Like guys, even around my boobs, like I had hair growing on my tits, like for God's sake, let's just be straight up blunt as it is. So what women get when they're pregnant, I basically had. And I knew there was red flags there straight away that there's something wrong. And I also started getting acne. So acne is a huge thing. It like, maybe not on my face, but I started getting loads on my back, and my KP was acting up. That kind of counts as some sort of acne. But yeah, I just started getting unusual like growth all over my hair and all over my body. And another thing that started happening randomly was huge chunks of hair loss. I was losing so much hair, guys. I thought I had alopecia or whatever, however you call it. Obviously I did get diagnosed with that, but I just get chunks of hair. Like I would brush my hair and so much hair would fall out, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like I need to go to the doctors. And I knew I had PCOS for the longest time ever, but I just didn't go to the doctors because I just couldn't be asked to I wasn't basically mentally prepared for the news, even though I already knew I had it. So at one point I just felt like shit, and I just wasn't feeling myself. I had such a short temper. I had unusual food cravings. Like if I didn't eat for more than 2-3 hours, I would feel like I'm about to pass out or faint. Uni was like a struggle. Going to college, waking up early was like such a struggle for me. I had such a low energy. Like guys, I cannot explain how difficult college was for me. It was transitioning from secondary school to college, and like having to still go in every day. I just didn't have a good concentration. I didn't have a good concentration span. I just felt like I was everywhere. I don't even know how I did those 2 years in college, and then 3 years in uni, guys. It just flew by. I didn't know how I did that. My energy levels were just so low. But yeah, I went to the doctors and they took a blood test, and they were like, yeah, you got loads of androgens in your body. You basically have loads of male hormones, and you have thyroid problems. So basically, by the way, your hormones are linked with your thyroids. And then I was like, what can I do? Like, how serious is it? They're like, we need to get referred by, you need to be seen by a specialist. So they sent me to St. Paul's Cathedral's hospital, and there they done an ultrasound on me. And from an ultrasound, it was a pregnant lady doing it, bless her. Like, she checked my ovaries, and it was just so weird and uncomfortable. But she told me that your ovaries are basically severely cystic. Because I remember her doing it and I was like, so how bad is it? And she was like, and you could tell on her face that she was like, it's really bad. But yeah, she was like, yeah, it's bad, but I've seen worse. And from that moment I was like, yeah, I knew it. I already knew I had this. I'm already mentally prepared. I'm ready. Just come at me with what medication I need to start taking, and I swear I'll start taking it and try like changing my lifestyle. And I'm not gonna lie, I've probably had this for since I was like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. I've probably had this for like 8, 9 years for all I know, yeah. But for as long as I had it, I mean, for as long as I remember, I haven't made a lifestyle change. Well, I have tested, okay, do you know what? This is a whole nother story about testing trial and error with my body. But I did make a few lifestyle changes at one point. And guys, my period came monthly, but it was just too hard to keep up with, and I just didn't have the commitment. But I said from today and from this month, I'm gonna start taking my health seriously. So once I got diagnosed, I went back to the GP. They officially diagnosed me, even though I knew for like 7-8 years I've had this disease, which is so bad. Guys, if you guys have any concerns, if you guys think that you guys have the disease, then please go and see a professional. Go see a doctor. Don't self-diagnose yourself like I did with Hirschism, PCOS. Everything I basically self-diagnosed myself with, I have. That's only because I'm a hypochondriac. I go on Google like a mad woman. Don't believe Google as well, man. I swear Google will tell you have cancer for every like illness. They told me I have ovarian cancer, all this blah blah. So yeah, don't rely on Google how I did. Just go speak to a specialist. But yeah, once I got diagnosed, I went back to the GP and they told me I can get onto the pill, and they did like speak to me about the emotional side of PCOS and how how it will affect me mentally. And it's a huge thing, man. Like, it's so hard to explain to you guys how I feel sometimes. I don't know, like, just imagine being this happy, like, bubbly person you are, but when you're mad, you're mad. When you're upset, you're upset. When you're pissed, you're pissed. Like, I couldn't control my emotions. I was battling with myself, and I swear I had that throughout my whole life. Like, for as long as I remember, I had such a, like, I have such a short temper. Like, my family and and everyone will know. And it's just like, it feels like I'm constantly battling with my own body. It's just so hard to explain to you guys. I don't even know if you guys will even understand what I'm saying, or even if it makes sense. But I felt like I was trapped in my own body at one point, but that's like a whole nother story in itself, man. Emotionally, it's just such a hard thing. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, once I went to the GP, they said to me, you could get on the contraceptive pill, which will help regulate your periods. You need to get onto the pill. They were like, you're borderline diabetic. And guys, I have a lot of sugar. I don't control my eating at all. Diabetes runs in my family. My granddad, my mum has it, so most likely I would end up having it, which should be a red flag and a warning sign for me to take care of my health. But still, like, even till today, I'm not taking it seriously enough. But they told me that they told me to get on the medication. But I'm not gonna lie, I read up so much about the pill before I even went to the hospital, so I know the side effects, and I was just more worried about the side effects. Already my like hormones and my moods were crazy, and I don't want to get on the pill and start feeling more shit than what I already feel, or start feeling more bad internally, if you guys know what I mean. So I just said no, I don't want to be on it. And plus there's a chance of you having like heart palpitations. I suffer with that already, and like my anxiety increasing, and like there's so much, guys, like blood clots. And I was just like, do you know what, I'm too young for this. I really can't be arsed. And the lady was like, yeah, I totally get you. If you ever want to start a family, and if you want to start getting monthly periods, or once you get married, or once you like want a baby, then yeah, please do come back to the GP and we're going to prescribe you with the pill. So I was like, yeah, do you know what, man, I know having periods is like important, but I'm fine with it coming every 2-3 months, every 4 months. By the way, guys, I didn't mention, even though my periods disappeared for years, I think in first year uni it started coming back every like 8 months or longer. So I would get it every like 2 months after. I mean, what am I saying, 8 months? Every 8 weeks after. So it was still irregular, but sometimes it'll be like 3 months apart, sometimes it'll be like 2 months apart, which was so inconvenient. Like, I cannot explain to you like how hard it was for me to keep up with my body, that at one point I just thought, you know what, I'm not gonna monitor my periods anymore. It is what it is. It comes when it wants. Like, hi, you're here, like, thanks, I'm so grateful. And the worst thing is my ones only last like 4 days max, so by the 3rd day it's gone. So yeah, as I was saying, they prescribed me with metformin. As you guys know, metformin is diabetes medication. My mom takes it because she's diabetic, but metformin, oh, do you know what guys, let me just tie my hair up because it's really annoying me, like touching my face. But yeah, metformin is a diabetes medication and it helps control your insulin levels. As I mentioned before, insulin is linked with your sugar levels, and that's linked with weight gain and like your hormones. So yeah, they prescribed me with metformin, and I swear I had to take one before every single meal. So like I had to take it 3 times in a week, and I swear like 3 times in a week for me to take metformin it wasn't a joke. Like sometimes I would forget, and I just started and then I did it for like a course of 4 weeks, I believe. And if you go to the GP right now, and if you guys go check up on my health history, they still think I'm on metformin. So it's been like 2-3 years they think that I'm having metformin, but I'm not. I didn't tell them, but I completely stopped taking it. But whilst I was taking it for like 4 weeks, I lost so much weight. Like my weight just went from I just lost so much weight, and I'm not gonna lie guys, I felt so drugged up. That's only because the insulin, that's only because the metformin balanced out my insulin levels. So a normal person's insulin levels would be like right here, and my one was like right here. So once I started taking the metformin, it brought my blood sugar levels back to normal, and my body was basically functioning like a normal person for once. So whilst I was taking metformin, I just felt so drugged up. I was always tired, and I just wasn't feeling great. Like I wasn't feeling energetic or like myself. So I stopped taking it. And once I stopped taking it, the weight came back like this. Like literally within 2 weeks or 1 week, I was back to my old shape and size again. So I was just like, wow, like damn. So I tried to look at natural remedies. I think I went vegan for like 3-4 months, and I swear that helped so much. My periods basically became regular and monthly. And then at one point I started doing the celery juice, and I'm not gonna lie, I done that for like 6 weeks. So it wasn't long enough for me to see if my period will come every month, but it came on the exact same day the next month. So yeah, it's just crazy like how lifestyle and diet can change your ovaries or change your hormonal balance and change your like body in general. So yeah, I couldn't stick to that for long because I wasn't committed enough. But I promised myself starting from next week, like, do you know what the thing is, being married is so hard because you have so many like dawats and people invite you over for dinner, and it's just so long. When you're South Asian especially, yeah, our staple food is rice, and I basically eat so bad, so I end up eating gluten and dairy anyway. But I promised myself after all these dawats are over, I'm gonna go gluten free and dairy free, and I'm gonna avoid caffeine. Another huge thing about having PCOS, and well, I suffered from it personally, is like insomnia. You just don't sleep. It affects your sleeping pattern so much, and coffee makes a huge difference. I know coffee is so hyped in like the social world, that coffee this, coffee that, like, yeah guys, I can't live without my coffee. But I'm not gonna lie, coffee makes me shaky. I get like anxiety over having coffee, and I don't know if that's normal, my body can't hack it. It's so weird, but I never used to be like that before. But once I have coffee, I don't feel great. I start getting like these weird symptoms of like being shaky and like brain fog. It's just weird, man, it's weird. But as I was saying, I suffered with like insomnia for a few years. I still do, guys. Like, I can't sleep. So if you guys have coffee, you guys know that spikes up your energy levels, and then you get that all-time low. But my body isn't in sync with the outside world like how our ancestors were. When it was natural daylight, I should be soaking in the natural daylight. So my body clock and my body rhythm, it's basically out of place. It's just so hard to explain, guys. If you research it, it will help you. Like, you should stay away from blue lights, and like turn on your, you know, that orange screen on your iPhone, or like even blue light sunglasses. I've read so much on it that it's good for people that have sleeping issues. But yeah, I do know people with PCOS usually do suffer with insomnia. So that was one thing that I did suffer with, and I still do. I'm just not tired, guys. My body, I could be brain dead, but my body would be wide awake. Or my body could be tired, but my brain would be wide awake. It's like vice versa. But that was something that I suffered with for years, and I still do. But yeah, and the saddest part is that wait, what was the other thing? Yeah, so lifestyle and dieting definitely did work for me. It's helped so much. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I know the struggles of PCOS, and I know how many women suffer in silence. And apart from sleep, I'm not gonna lie, another thing that was mentally like disturbing to me. It was just like my body. I was not confident in my body. I was not confident in my own skin. I found it so hard to accept myself. Like, being a hairy ass woman is no joke, guys. Like, you look at all the girls in society, you start comparing yourself, like, why am I so hairy? And there's so many treatments out there, even though PCOS hasn't got a cure. For example, laser hair removal. I remember from such a young age I started doing laser hair removal, and boy was it expensive. I remember the first place I went to must have been like Carnaby Laser Clinic or something, and I paid with my own money. And I remember doing it. I was still a student, and I swear, man, they exploited me. Like, they like took advantage of me only because they wanted me to promote them, despite me paying for the service and despite me not being happy with the service. So I basically left. I remember like telling them that I have PCOS is a hormonal issue, and they totally understood me during my consultation. But whilst I was doing the treatment, it wasn't consistent enough. I didn't have the same lady doing my treatment. It was like different people in different times, and then they just changed the machine out of nowhere. So I was just like, is this even working anymore? And they just didn't take it seriously enough. And I don't know, man, I just left. I didn't say anything to them, and I just left. But I've had my fair share of like bad places, especially when it comes to laser and having this hormonal disorder. I mean having this hormonal disease, and like no one being able to cater to it properly. And even waxing made it worse. Like, when I used to wax, that my KP would get worse because of my skin condition. So I know the struggle. I haven't tried those creams that slow down the hair growth process, because I'm getting a laser hair removal done today, and I'm doing it with SJ Laser Clinic, SJ Hair Medical. It's in Harrow, but I get my laser done there. They're really good, and they're so sweet. They understand me, and I feel like they understand my condition, and I'm not embarrassed and I'm not afraid. And even if I feel like they missed a spot, I'll tell them, can you do it there? And it's the same like person, Elida, doing my laser for me. So I feel a lot more confident. But guys, I know the struggle, and I know it's financially hard, and I just know the struggle. So yeah, there's treatment you could get through medication, but I always believe there's a natural way of curing yourself. I wouldn't recommend you to just straight away like start taking medication. Do your research, do your Googles, guys. Like, I don't know, just know what you're putting into your body, because sometimes it could have a worse effect on you than like benefit you. So yeah, that's all I could say really. I don't know if you guys have any more, like, it's been like half an hour I've been talking, and I don't know what else to say really. But if you guys have any questions, then please do leave it in the comment box down below. If you guys feel like you don't want to write it publicly, then feel free to like email me, DM me, message me. Like, I will respond. If you guys want me to put a poll out there to answer your questions about PCOS, I'll be happy to. But yeah, I just thought I'd say that I know the struggles of being hairy. I even got bullied by it in school. I swear to God, I remember having like a tash and people would make like rude comments. So yeah, I just wish I could like, and I know the feeling of having acne, and I know the feeling of like everybody else around you having like smooth skin, like being hairless. And then there was me, that South Asian girl in school with like hairy arms and like KP on my skin, and I'll just be like, whoa, like, why am I like this? So yeah, it's a huge thing, mentally, physically, and I just feel like it's like not spoken about, and it's like a topic that's like brushed under the carpet. And I do like loads of research online, and especially like growing up, when I would do my research, there was not many people speaking about it. So I hope to those like who suffer, I hope you guys have somebody to like relate to. Just know you're not alone, you're not suffering it with alone. We're sisters, like CYSTERS, yeah, like we're like sisters. So if you guys need somebody to talk to, or you like know somebody who's suffering, then yeah, send this video to them, see if that it would help them. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I blabbered on so much in this video, but yeah, I'm hoping to do a Q&A video about PCOS and answering your questions on it personally. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys got some information out of this, or I hope this helps you in some way. But thank you guys so much. Take care, and see you guys in my next video.